Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh, yeah. Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today I prepare ravioli soup. It is warm and filling. We also visit our friends at the Dog Pound. They do an amazing job. But first, gorgeous nature shots taken right here in Mill Creek Park. We are here with Michael Johnson at the wetlands here at Newport Lake in Mill Creek Park. And I met Michael online, on the Nextdoor app. And that thing is just so interesting. It has all the different neighborhoods in our area. And Michael, you post all these gorgeous pictures of nature. And Mill Creek Park is your hang, huh?
It is. It's a fortress of solitude, so to speak. It's serene, it's quiet. You interact with many people here from time to time, but mostly you're by yourself.
And you said that it really ramped up during COVID.
It did, because what happens is most people are told to stay indoors because you didn't go outside and interact with people and catch anything. But here at the park, it was like you could be by yourself. You could be with people, but be at a distance, of course, talk between the cars, and you still had an outdoor feeling. You still got some fresh air.
Yeah.
And it's relaxing.
And what I think is really interesting about Michael is you can tell from his accent, he is not a native Youngstonian. So you are originally born and raised in New York City.
Yes, in the Bronx.
And after your retirement, you decided to come to the garden capital of the world, Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, my sister bought a house here in 2014.
How did that happen? Why Youngstown of all the places to
Well, I had
come?
another sister lived here prior to this because she worked for GM.
Uh-huh.
So my older sister followed her down here, and I followed her.
Well, I'm sure the retirement might be a little cheaper here in
Oh,
our
yeah, you
fair
get more,
city.
as they say, more bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Because New York is too expensive to live for anybody.
What did you do in New York?
I was a warehouse manager.
And then...
then I got disabled, and it was more affordable to live someplace else.
Yes. And were you keen on photography when you lived in the city?
I was an architect student years ago, and I just picked up the camera. I had a little Instamatic camera years ago. And I love architecture, I love scenery.
But you seem to really get a lot of the bald eagles, which I lived here my whole life. I don't think I've ever seen a bald eagle in person.
The first time I caught one, I thought I was seeing things. It just can't be real. Bald eagle in Mill Creek Park.
Right.
And of course it was. Then I started realizing their pattern, and they did come year round. Whether it's hot or warm or cold, they're year round. And usually the area over there we talked about is where they mostly hang at. There's a nest somewhere here in the park, but I can't find it yet.
I know. How big must that nest be?
It's massive, because there was the one that we know about near the proving grounds over, I forget what part of town that is. That's massive, so it can't be missed. The eagles that fly through here fly in the evening. They fly either direction towards, I think it was at 64 or whatever it is over there.
62.
Or 62, or either they fly over by, or they fly over a glacier. And there has to be a nest, I think it's the nest over there by where the highway is.
Yes.
And the very wooded area, it's very hard to access by walking or driving, so you really have to take a trek to go through there. A few friends of mine thought about doing that one day, trying to look for it.
Well, you let me know, because I think that would be, it's hard to believe. Now, the other day I noticed, I'm kind of a fan, and I always look for your posts when I go on to Nextdoor, and you had thought it was a hawk, but it was a golden eagle.
Yes, I had never seen one before in the wild, and I was told by one of my people who on my site said it's a golden eagle, and I was fortunate to catch him.
What other things have you really caught, other than the birds?
Well, nature itself. I was here a few days ago when the fog was hitting. It was very foggy.
Oh, I love those.
And I caught some great pictures over here by the wetlands area over here on the other side. I caught some early morning pictures over by Lake Glacier in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a blue setting. It's all, people actually, did I doctor the film? No, it was just blue.
It looks like a haunted movie.
Especially the fog ones. It was like so eerie when Vincent Price movie kind of setting,
Yes.
And it was perfect because it's just quiet. It's still. And you can hear a pin drop, literally. You hear the trees rustling in the wind, but other than that, that's it.
It's all with this Nikon.
It's all with this, yeah, all this.
I mean, that is such a little compact. And then, do you print these out? And
well, no, I did. What happens when I take pictures that they connect to the phone, so they go right from the camera to the phone. I have a database, but I have yet to print anything out.
What do you really like about Youngstown? I mean, obviously you've been here. Now it's going to be almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, yeah.
And you know,
it's not New York. In the biggest sense of the word, it's not New York. I was born and raised in New York. And after a while, you get tired of the hustle, the bustle. It's a whole different mindset. You know, Ohio is much slower than New York, and it's a different kind of vibe.
What do you think about the people here in our area?
They're friendly.
You?
They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
And it's not about the color of skin or how you look. Just they feel something off you, and you feel something off for them, and you connect, especially in the park. But the Mill Creek thing, it's a whole different set of values.
So you're not going anywhere?
No.
Have you been back to visit since you
I've been
moved?
back to visit. Yeah, I've been back to move. My sister and I used to take care of our dad. He passed in 2019, so now we're here permanently. But to find a place like this, when I was there, to find a place like this is hard pressed because there are parks all over New York City. But to find one that's empty, as quiet as this, you're not going to find that. This is midday, and the park is empty. Scheme of things, New York, like Central Park, there's 1,000 people in one spot. You know, having lunch. You know, everybody's on lunch break in New York. But you know, Central Park. But here, you literally hear. What do you hear? You hear the highway in the distance. You hear the cars in the distance.
That's it.
And that's it. You get nothing else.
Take off with the Casey Malone Show. Woo-hoo!
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Woolley Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Woolley Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers. I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Eating, drinking, celebrating, that's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour, Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you.
Angels for Animals gigantic garage sale is April 21st through the 23rd at the fairgrounds. Incredible buys, great food, and raffles. For more information or to donate items or volunteer, visit angelsforanimals.org.
Well, this is a checkup with you, Diane. It's been 5 years since your facility opened, you know, the new dog pound, and Diane Fry, our dog warden for Mahoning County. When Bill and I visited 5 years ago, you hardly had any dogs here.
Right, we were just in the process of moving the dogs in to the adoption floor. We hadn't even moved them into intake yet. Yes, that was an exciting time.
It really was. I mean, and I could not imagine filling this, but now you are bursting at the seams.
You know what? We are. We're where we always anticipated having around 60 dogs to 70 dogs maybe. Now we are consistently up towards 80, sometimes over, and that's a lot. That's a lot for staffing. That's a lot for making sure that we're doing for the dogs what we want to, because we really do have the philosophy, if this was our dog that was in this facility, how do you want that dog taken care of?
Exactly. Now, how many employees do you have full-time that can help?
Full-time, we are, thankfully, because the commissioners see this, we have just moved up to more full-time. Usually we have 12 here, but that's 24/7. That's out on the road. That's in the office. That's to do everything.
You are open 24 hours a day here.
Well, yes, we have a deputy on call, but as far as our office hours, we're Monday through Friday from, I should say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 5:30, and then Saturday from 9 until noon.
And that is when a lot of the, Saturday is probably your big day for, you know, people that are looking for dogs.
Right, it can be, and we always start out with an application. Once your application is approved, then we bring you in. We learned a lot through the pandemic as far as why we were having issues with dogs being higher anxiety, doing a lot of these repetitious, like spinning, getting really nervous when they were never like that back in our intake area. Once they would come out on the adoption floor, they would, within a week, they'd start to get really nervous, they'd start to be frightened. It was because we were having people through all the time that they didn't know. And can you imagine being in...
So adoptions were really up during the pandemic, correct?
We were down to, at one point we had one dog and then no dogs on the adoption floor. It was unbelievable.
Because everyone was at home.
Right.
So now that it's opened up, are you getting those dogs back?
A lot of them, sadly, we are.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think you couldn't get the training. A lot of people really weren't looking up how to take care of you. You gotta know what you have and what type of dog, what are those needs of that dog. And if you're gonna get into like a pity mix or one of those bigger working dogs, that's all exercise. That's all exercise and socialization and playing. You've got to be able to do that. And, some people, they just didn't realize. So this is an isolation. So this is, if we get bite cases in, they have to be quarantined for 10 days. Or if a dog is injured, or if a dog is severely aggressive, then they're housed in here, because then, you have to take extra precaution. Yeah, I mean, we'll put that we're getting low on food. Megan will post it, and our community is phenomenal. And everybody listens so that we can keep their diet standardized, so we don't have to run into any intestinal issues or
so this
anything.
Is the one that works with everybody. Pedigree adult.
And it's a good food at a good price, and we have people bring it in at Christmas time. I mean, it's amazing. So this is the police kennel, and there's a keypad on the outside of the door, and all the police departments have that number. And so if they are comfortable, if an officer's comfortable with transporting a dog and find a dog, then we don't have to get called. They can bring the dog in. We have forms right here. They fill that form out. Yeah, they fill the form out, slide it into the pocket of wherever they put the dog, and they're out of here.
And I know that we're running till the end of February for, to get them registered and get their license.
Yes.
How is that going with the licensing?
A lot of people don't understand it, and they think it's just about getting their dog back to them if they get lost. It's a state law. That's really why we're here, is to make sure that we are here to enforce licensure and to make sure we're one of those counties that requires a current rabies vaccine. That's extremely important. So that's
you're
what
held
we're
liable.
here to do.
Your dog bites, It's
It
on
is.
you.
People don't realize what all we are involved in, but that registration fee, that keeps the doors open, that keeps the lights on, that keeps the vans running, and that's what staff's here. Primarily, we try very hard to be completely self-sufficient, but we're a self-funded department primarily. So that's a big deal, and we've tried very hard to not raise license fees. But when 2/3 of or more of the dogs that we get in aren't licensed, they're not neutered. 80% of the dog bites are unneutered male dogs.
But more than food, you need a lot of other items.
Right. We can always use old terry cloth towels if you're getting rid of those. So terry cloth is great. Fleece blankets are good. We have a good supply of that, but we're always Dawn dishwashing liquid, laundry detergent.
Why Dawn?
Some bleach. You know what? It cuts through the grease.
Okay.
Dawn is amazing. It cuts through the grease.
Nice commercial for Dawn.
Yeah,
I love the new Platinum, by the way.
Yeah, very good. Fabuloso for the floors because it has a great smell. And you know, for the dogs, if you want to get something for the dogs, Busy Bones are great. Bully sticks are great. We don't do a lot of rawhide because it makes the dogs, sometimes it can make them sick or give them intestinal upset. We can use pumpkin, ready whip, peanut butter, biscuits, you know, so we stuff Kongs, we have Frisbees that we put, you know, stuff on. We have slow feeders that we'll put food in and hang them in there. We try to do some sort of an enrichment every day, something different every day, so they don't get bored, because there's a lot of time. They have a lot more
of downtime.
They
yeah.
do. They have a lot of downtime. So, you know, those Busy Bones last for a little bit, so do the Bully Sticks, something like that. The dogs go nuts over them, and they're good, you know, they're safe for them.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
It's happening now. Construction is underway at Gabacamp, a year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home, accessible to all, with no barriers. Donate now to Gabacamp. Giving is living.
I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Eating, drinking, celebrating. That's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour. Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Angels for Animals gigantic garage sale is April 21st through the 23rd at the fairgrounds. Incredible buys, great food, and raffles. For more information or to donate items or volunteer, visit angelsforanimals.org.
You better come on in my kitchen.
You are going to love the soup that I am preparing today. It is really hearty, and it is quite a big quantity. It will serve crowd. or you can enjoy it for a few days. My girlfriend Sherry was telling me about this soup that she was making, and she's getting all these ingredients, and it's very, very versatile. You can take or add whatever you like. I'm calling it ravioli soup because the starch in it will be a mini ravioli, but you could also use tortellini, or you could use just a small noodle pasta, and it would almost be like a pasta fazool. Add beans, don't add beans, but you'll see. We are gonna make this. It's really quick, it goes together nicely, and you are going to enjoy it. For this recipe, you'll need 1/2 pound of Italian link sausage cut into 1/2 inch coins, 1 medium onion chopped, 3 ribs of celery chopped, 3 carrots peeled and chopped, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 5 cloves of garlic chopped, 6 cups of chicken stock, 2 14.5 ounce cans of diced tomatoes, 4 packets of Goya Sazon, 1/4 cup of chopped fresh basil, 1/2 bag of mini meatballs, about a pound, 1 13-ounce bag of mini ravioli, salt and pepper to taste, and grated Parmesan for serving. This is quite a large quantity of soup, so make sure you use a Dutch oven or a soup pot. And I've got the little bit of olive oil warming up. Now I'm going to add my sausage coins. So we'll get this sausage nice and browned before we add vegetables. Well, this has browned up nicely, and it really didn't render that much fat. So I am not gonna have to worry about draining the pan. So we'll let this sit over here for a little bit. There we go, doesn't that look pretty? And now we are going to add our vegetables. Still over medium heat. We have the carrots, garlic, the onion, the celery, and of course I like a little heat. If you don't add this, but I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So now we'll just mix this, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Look how cute these things are. I got these for Christmas. Look, they're electric. And they have lights. Thanks, Sharon. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper to this. Isn't that cute? Though it has a little cap. I love these things. And pepper. And then there's a light. We'll soften this up, and then we will move along further. All right. So the vegetables are nice and soft, and they're gonna continue to cook. So we're gonna add the sausage back in. We didn't wanna get it too browned. And then we are going to add, I love the petite diced. We're gonna add those. Oh my gosh, it's really easy. It's like dump soup. You just keep dumping stuff in there. And then, oh, nice. Then we're gonna add some basil. Just dump it in. And chicken stock. Now you could also use a beef stock, but I think beef is kind of heavy for this. So now what we're gonna do is bring this up to a boil. And I'm gonna share with you one of my secret weapons. When you have soups and things that you're cooking and it just doesn't seem to have the right zing, I buy this Sazon from Goya. They come in little packets. This one has paprika or something in it, and it has like a reddish color, but it won't fight with this. But there's also one that doesn't add color. But let me tell you, these are so good to keep on hand. When things just don't taste right, and I think with this, it just adds the flavor that you need. And so I'm gonna add about 4 packs. And I've experimented with this a few times, and I think 4 is good. So now what we're gonna do, it's all mixed together. We are going to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for a while. And then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. And honestly, in about 20 minutes, this is gonna be done. So this is simmered for about 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, the flavors have really melded together. So I'm gonna put this up to about medium low, just to get a little bubble going. And I'm going to now add the mini raviolis, and to just kick it up a notch, I'm going to add some of these mini meatballs. And this should take about 10 minutes for everything to cook through and warm through and get softened up. Soup is on. Look at that. Little basil on top, but just for a little fun, I'll just put a little shredded parm on there. I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese before I eat it. So I'm gonna give this a try. Oh, looks so good. It is perfect. And since it is tomato based, I think a nice dry red goes well with this, and a Cabernet Sauvignon from Hahn, very reasonably priced, goes perfectly. Love it. Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for ravioli soup. You will feed the masses with the amount of soup that this recipe produces. It's excellent. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.